This is one of the most well-known monuments to Christopher Columbus in the US. 70 meters high, built in the 1800s, and it sits in the middle of a roundabout also named for the explorer, Columbus Circle. But today, as you can see, it is surrounded by barriers, and police patrols have been guarding the site. That's because of concerns protesters may try to pull down or damage the statue. Now, Columbus is credited with discovering America in the 15th century, but he's become a controversial figure because of his treatment of indigenous communities. The protests sparked by the death of George Floyd, an unarmed African-American man, by the police several weeks ago, have prompted demonstrators in other US cities to pull down monuments to Columbus and other figures linked to the Civil War. But New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has long given his backing to statues of Columbus because of the explorer's importance to the Italian-American community, and he renewed that support in a press conference on Thursday.
I understand the feelings about Christopher Columbus and some of his acts, which nobody would support. But the statue has come to represent and signify appreciation for the Italian-American contribution to New York. For that reason, I support it.
Now, the governor is from an Italian-American background himself, and his comments have attracted criticism from the American Indian Law Alliance. But this statue is not the only target of civil rights advocates. Members of City Hall are calling for changes to the names of two streets in Brooklyn named after Confederate generals from the Civil War. US President Donald Trump has criticized calls to rename army bases named after such figures. But it's prompted an emotional response from New York's deputy mayor, whose relatives were slaves of a Civil War general.
This issue is an emotional issue for many people like me, and it's really hard for us to really feel fully part of this country that celebrates our enslavement with names like that on military bases all across this country.
Civil rights protests are expected to continue across the city in the week ahead. It's not clear yet how long police will remain here guarding this statue. Sarah Walton, CGTN, New York.